Hey, it's Albert with Two Tribes Primal Living, and wanted I had a thought today. It actually wasn't a thought; it was an encounter or an experience that I had, um, and it's nothing unfamiliar to me. Um, I I um, I got called a fearmonger, um, a Debbie Downer before. I've been called these things because um, of the things that I decide to talk about, or the things that I share either on this channel or on other platforms of social media. Um, but I wanted to to kind of break down the difference between a fearmonger, a conspiracy theorist, and a truth seeker. Um, because there is a difference between these different labels that people have put on those who um, don't follow the TV or the newspapers or the actors and actresses and rock stars and athletes and all that stuff, the politicians and I'm gonna start off with what a fearmonger is, and uh, why it's fear mongering. And to me, when somebody um, gets on a channel like on YouTube or BitChute or even Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, fear mongering is when the the intent of the message is to get a reaction out of people, or to get likes or clicks, or to generate some kind of profit, or something like that benefits the ego. They get a rush out of calling people out and creating controversy and division. This is what a fearmonger is. A fearmonger relies completely on emotions. They are an emotionally unstable person who uses very little wisdom in their words, um, and they really don't care about the impact that they have on society or friends or family or even their inner circle of people. So they continue to spread negativity, and as if it's something they get a rush from doing. It like I said, it feeds the ego. The ego is in charge of that message when it comes to fear mongering. And there are a lot of fear mongers out there, on social media, um, on YouTube channels, BitChute channels, other platforms. But then you've got the conspiracy theorist. The conspiracy theorist is I'm gonna put them kind of in the middle. The conspiracy theorist is somebody who is is between fearmonger and a truth seeker. A conspiracy theorist is somebody who will create an identity, per se, um, spreading information that may or may not be true. Flat earthers, you know, just I use the flat earthers because they're kind of the, the butt of a lot of jokes when it comes to conspiracy theories, because it's kind of like these days, there's very few conspiracy theories that haven't come true. But they're still operating in a realm of ego, literal ego. They're logical thinkers. They're somewhat even autistic, in a sense, because either it's it's how the brain works and what they see. They see things from a different filter than most people. And I probably at one point was a conspiracy theorist, um, in my earlier days of uncovering things like CERN and Morgellons and gematria and the HARP weather manipulation and chemtrails and aliens and all this other stuff. These are all conspiracy theories that have been labeled as conspiracy theories. So the conspiracy theorist is somebody who is in between a fearmonger and a truth seeker. Even though they are seeking truth, they still fall for psyops. They get involved in things that still can manipulate. They're uncertain about things that and I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example, because Bitcoin is one of those things that came out years back, and it was presented to society, people interested in alternative currencies, and a lot of cryptocurrencies are like that. But when you look at Bitcoin and what has happened to Bitcoin, it seems like it was controlled opposition. So the conspiracy that Bitcoin was going to be the next big thing, actually was something that was put out by government agencies in order to manipulate people into buying into these things. And I kind of look at the QAnon and those groups like that are they're controlled opposition, in my knowings. I'm not going to say my beliefs or my findings or my understanding. I'm going to say I know that these things are psyops. I know that these things are controlled opposition. But you've got a lot of people who are waking up right now, and they really aren't putting the bigger picture together just yet. So it's all political. There's a little bit of politics, and there's a little bit of religion involved in the QAnon movement. And I get it. It's different. It's not fear mongering, but then again, it's not mainstream information as well too. So those are the stepping stones that people go through on their journey, and they have to find the things that resonate within them in order to break out of that conspiracy theorist category. And there's a lot of, and I'm not saying that the conspiracy theorist is a bad thing. There's just a difference between a fearmonger, a conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist can also be somebody who's like somebody who just got into multi-level marketing, and every time you see this person, they're trying to sell you crap and get you to sign up to sell crap under them, and you kind of run away from them, because at some point it's like, shit, you keep trying to get me to sell this crap, and it's a pyramid scheme, and I don't want to sell this shit, so you get avoided. And and the thing about a conspiracy theory is that everything is new, and you just want to tell everybody about the things you're discovering, and a lot of those conspiracies, or like I said, a lot of those conspiracies or agendas that are out there are controlled opposition. They are put out there by government agencies, corporations, bureaucrats, all whoever has money and who wants to sway people in a certain direction. They usually, when you're waking up, you're most likely going to be a conspiracy theorist. And then I've got this. There's what you call the truth seeker and the truth spreader, and this is a different level of individual that has has been through the conspiracy theorist phases of understanding the bigger picture of things, and I like to say that the conspiracy theorist, the fear monger, and the truth seeker, truth spreader are defined by one thing, and that's intent. What is the intention of this fearmonger, truth seeker, or conspiracy theorist? And it's got to do with the relationship of the soul. It's got to do with the relationship of the ego and the soul. So, with the fearmonger, the soul is kind of tainted. It's corrupt, and the ego is in control of the soul simultaneously as the soul is in control. So fear mongering is something that you just do maliciously. There's no wisdom involved in it. There's only look at me and I'm right, and I'm full of emotion, and this is the only way it can be, and all you people are stupid, and all you are a bunch of fucking liars, and everybody's an idiot, and you need to do as I say, or listen to the words that I say, and if you don't, fuck you. You're ousted out. You're no longer my friend. You're no longer my family. There's always a malintent there. So the ego is usually in control of the fear monger. They're all emotion. And the soul doesn't have a place to speak, because the soul is actually in alignment with that fear mongering. So like I said, there's a darkness to it with the fear monger, and I get why so many people call people who spread information, truthful information, and valid information, trying to help out humanity, why they're labeled as fear mongers, because it's like you're just like these guys, and you couldn't be further from the truth. But then the conspiracy theorists, they're kind of ego too. They're kind of between that realm of the soul is trying to align to ego, but the ego is still in control. So, but it's not malicious. It's just still confused. It's still in that awakening process of what is the true conspiracy, or what is the false conspiracy, what is truth, and what is controlled opposition. And the people who rule this planet, the ruling class of this planet, they're pretty wise people. They operate in a state of wisdom, and when I say that, wisdom isn't always, I mean, darkness has a wisdom to it, the same as lightness has a wisdom to it. So there are wisdoms to light and dark. There's not just one is good and one is evil. The one wouldn't exist without the other. And so conspiracy theorists, they're kind of right in the middle. They're still in that development process of allowing the soul to take control of the ego, and to use discernment of what conspiracies are true, and what conspiracies are absolute bullshit. But it's not something that you're just gonna know. It's a journey. It's somewhere where you have to start. You're not, especially if you've been asleep for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and now you're starting to wake up to what's really going on this planet, and understand that the corruption and greed and manipulation is far beyond what you thought it was. The conspiracy theorist is going to be somewhere to start, and then you've got the truth seeker, the truth spreader, is somebody who has kind of ascended above all the conspiracies and all the 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 misinformation and what is called misinformation these days, what is called conspiracies. This is when the ego no longer listens to itself. This is when the ego now is led by the soul, and the soul is in control. The soul is wise. The soul is full of integrity. The soul is courageous and generous. The soul does not operate in the state of emotion. It's not driven by emotion. It's just actual. It's absolute, and the wisdom of the soul is what drives the truth seeker, the 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 truth spreader, and it kind of bothers me sometimes when people call me a conspiracy theorist or a fear monger, but that it doesn't piss me off. I don't get in arguments or debates with anybody. I mean, a couple years back that may have been different, but now that I'm able to discern what is actually going on this planet, because I'm not listening to anything in particular or anyone in particular. The soul is wise. It will listen to all, follow none. It will be silent. The ego will be silent when it's supposed to listen to the soul, even though it hears all this noise and observes all the fear and division and corruption and greed that is going on around it. The soul is at peace. Therefore, the ego is at peace. So, spreading information is a means of trying to help humanity ascend to a higher level of consciousness or a higher level of awareness, so that humanity can evolve wisely and with integrity and with courage and not fear. And so the truth seeker, truth spreader is going to be somebody who, if somebody disagrees with them, that's fine. You can disagree with them, and they're not gonna get upset about it, or the fact that they upset somebody is going to cause them to look at themselves and reflect upon that situation and go, am I doing the right thing? Is my resonation with this energy of truth correct? And they're going to think about it. They're going to want to know the truth and why somebody would look at the information that they're providing as false, and they're really going to want to understand. And it's not going to be a debate. It's almost going to be a questioning of self. So to answer those people who attack other people or label other people as either fear mongers, conspiracy theorists, or truth seekers, there's a constant evolution of self when self embarks onto a journey of seeking truth, and not truth from just this physical world, but truth from the things that the five senses cannot process, that the mind cannot process through the five senses. It goes beyond that. There's a whole nother level of existence out there that the five senses cannot process, and that's what a truth seeker is looking for. The soul is in control. The soul is the master of the ego. The ego listens to the soul, and the ego is an expression of the soul, and not an emotion or a tragedy or anything like that. It's something that wants to benefit all humanity, all existence, whether it's plant, animal, insect, fish, person, mammal, reptile, whatever. it doesn't matter. It seeks to bring things back into harmony and not create the division and the emotional recklessness of somebody who is an actual fearmonger. And people, I follow a few other people on YouTube that have been accused of being fearmongers, and all they're doing is stating the truth. It's sad that we are at that point where society has decided that anybody who is not wearing a $5,000 suit or is endorsed by corporations or is well funded by institutions or part of a government system, that they don't know what they're talking about, and they need to shut up and let the media tell the news, and let the media discern for humanity what is right and what is wrong and what is good and what is evil. These people are certified, and they've got credentials, and they're degreed, and they got diplomas, and they have the peer group support of this, but there are no certifications for wisdom. There are no certifications for integrity. There are no certifications for generosity, and there are no certifications for courage either. So I'm going to leave it there, and like, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you think. Are you a fearmonger? Are you a conspiracy theorist, or are you a truth seeker? Hit that notification bell, and we'll talk to you guys later.